Hi, I'm Matt, and in this episode, and I want to stress this 28-minute episode, or thereabouts, is the raw DVR footage of a flight with the Nano Talon. Now, you may be wondering, Matt, why are you doing a 28-minute flight with the Nano Talon? And I want to make this video just for the Mini Talon pilot. So if you are a Mini Talon pilot, so you've got the bigger version of one of these, is that this is why I know that you're just going to perk, that this video is just going to be for you, okay? And I know that you're either going to be in or you're going to be out, okay? And it's straightforward as that. Now, why would you want to be in on this one, and why would it perk your attention? So first of all, if you look around me, you'll see the OSD screen up on the screen, and just keep an eye on the details, okay? Now, the key facts which you need to know is that the maximum speed was 72 miles per hour, or 117 kilometers per hour, okay? Now, all the measurements on the screen are done in kilometers per hour or in meters, okay? It's you can't mix it up like what you can do, say, on an Eagle Tree Vector, and the system which I'm using is iNav, and if you haven't seen the overview to the iNav install, then that's in the top right-hand corner for you right now. But that said, anyway, maximum speed 72 miles per hour or 117 kilometers an hour. But for the majority of this flight, it was just one of those flights, and which was just fantastic, you know, just chilled out and pottering around. Now, I did fly within specific restraints so that I could put this video on YouTube. So the maximum height was 255 meters or 836 feet. We didn't fly too far away. Landed, by the way. We didn't fly too far away. And the total distance traveled. Now, this is a real curiosity. Okay, keep in the back of your mind that this model is half the size of a Mini Talon. Okay, the wings clip on, the tail, the fins just pull off like so, and it compresses down to a tiny little package. Keep that in the back of your mind. This model did, let me just get this right, 22,955.7 meters worth of distance traveled, or in old money, 14 miles on one battery. One battery, 14 miles in a model this big. And that's me, and this is how big the model is. Absolutely blown away, and just totally enjoying the Nano Talon. The other key thing to note is that the maximum current draw was 8 amps, okay, according to the on-screen stats at the end. I wasn't flying fast. This whole flight was just a mixture of flying. It was just a mixture of flying. I was flying out into winds. Sometimes I was in pass-through mode. Sometimes I was in horizon. I tried some altitude hold. I think I hit return to home just to make sure it works about halfway through the flight, and it pointed back home, so confidence was there. And I just genuinely chilled out, and that's why I'm making this video for you, is because I want to share this Nano Talon experience with you. A 1600 milliampere 4S pack, that's all I was using in here. It will cruise, I'm looking at the screen right now, and I'm being a little bit throttle heavy, and you'll see that I'm on 37% throttle, and pulling, wait for it, 2 amps, give or take a few, okay? 2 amps, someone's just shot up underneath me. So it will cruise around anywhere from 2 to 4 amps. Again, personally, I was trying to aim for flying around 3 amps, but then I did get bored every now and again, and I came down to the flight line and terrorized the other pilots which are on the flight line. And yeah, it will cruise around on not a lot of amps. I've been asked so many times, Matt, will you be changing the motor on the back? And my answer is no. I will be sticking with, let me get this right, it's a ZOHD 2204 1870 kV motor with a 60/30 propeller. I will not be changing the motor. It's very, very low current draw. We've got plenty of thrust, especially on 4S. and it is super efficient. Oh, and by the way, anything bigger than that on the back, I would be, propeller-wise, I would be worried about it hitting the ground. And also you would then need to offset that with weight in the nose as well. Just keep that in the back of your mind. So I do like this little motor. It's part of the plug-and-play kit, and I'm really impressed with it, especially its flight efficiency. Now, a topic which I'd like to bring up is 18650 packs. Now, that's a 4S2 P pack, completely inappropriate for that model, far too heavy. But those of you which have been flying with, been thinking about 18650 batteries, or maybe you already fly with them, is that this model, and that's one of the things which I'm now going to go and do, is go and set up a 3500 and a true, let me get this right, a true 3500 milliampere 4S 18650 pack. And I'll get this set up for this model, because that's basically double the flight time. We are easily talking an hour's worth of flight time, and the flight in the background, you'll see me just pottering around, but there are moments of I was going to say insanity, but really it's enjoyment, to be perfectly honest. And I'm mucking around on with higher throttle, darting around in the flight line and stuff like that. So the whole flight could have been a little bit more efficient, to say the least. But that said, 3,500 milliampere hours in an 18650 pack in here, we would hit CG. That would be really straightforward to do, and we'd have to move it back a little bit in the fuselage just to make sure we get the CG right. But that said, talk about flight efficiency. You would never be stressing the cells themselves, because you're only pulling a couple of amps. Even on launch, you're only about 4, maybe 5 amps at most, you know, and you are going to get some serious flight times, you are going to get some serious distances, and you are also going to get some serious efficiency with this little tiny, I want to say it's pocket size, but it's not going to fit. Well, it might just about fit in my hoodie pocket, but it is backpack sized. Okay, it's not hoodie, it's not pocket sized, and it feels very tiny and very cute, you know. But on a serious point, it does feel very backpack sized, and I am very, very much a fan of the Nano Talon, and this is why I'm going to post the rest of this whole DVR footage of this flight with the Nano Talon for you, so that you can at least enjoy some of the experience which I had. And honestly, just being sat there on the flight line with my spotter next to me, of course, and we just sat back with the goggles on and just pottering around. Absolutely brilliant. And remember, I did do my best to keep this one within the confines of what we're allowed to do legally here in the United Kingdom. That's why we were testing the visual range, and I think, what did we get? I think it was 800 and something meters. That was like the absolute maximum, which we could still see the model, and even then it was a tiny little dot. We could only just make it out, and as you'll see, most of the flight is nothing more than a few hundred meters away. We don't go ridiculously high, but that said, the efficiency of this model, the potential which this model has, is absolutely crazy. So, and again, I just want to remind you, this model was bought out of my own money. I have just learned a few moments ago from the lads in the Facebook group that unfortunately ZOHD, which we all know now is Sonic model, that they are running behind in production. Okay, and that is khaki news. But on the flip side, I genuinely do feel that it is worth the wait. Remember, this one was bought out of my money. It wasn't a freebie for a review. The links in the video description are affiliate links. If you use any of them, you will be supporting that channel. Again, something which I try and aim for absolute clarity with you. With every single episode which we publish, and there's a product in it, and I just want to make the point, I really do like my Nano Talon, and from the rest of this flight, I think that you're going to get the same impression too, which is 28 minutes in the sky. And it wasn't a particularly great day for flying either. Again, you may have seen some of the other videos from Sunday, like the AR Stealth Wing, for example. And you'll see it's quite a choppy day up there. as far as wind conditions go, we've definitely got a crosswind in there, and I can see here in the background on the footage we are getting knocked around. There is a little bit of dihedral in the wings that definitely does help keep the model straight and true, and I'm 100%, those of you out there, putting iNav in this model was an inspired idea. The second it arrived, I thought to myself that iNav is the way to go for this one. Obviously you could put an Eagle Tree Vector in there, or one of the FY lights in there if you wanted to. Just to give you a heads up, if you were going to put an Eagle Tree Vector in there, you would have to resort to putting it on the bottom tray, which makes things a little bit awkward because there's just not enough space for it on the top, whereas iNav, there is room to fit the board up there, and happy days. It was actually quite easy to do with iNav, but yeah, absolutely McLovin the Nano Talon. So if you have any questions about the Nano Talon, or you just have any questions about it point blank, let me know in the comments section underneath this video. And like I said back at the beginning, this video really is for the Mini Talon pilots out there. Those of you which have got a Mini Talon, which are a fantastic model, I just know that you are you're gonna be like me. You are gonna really like the Nano Talon. It's proven to be as versatile as the Mini Talon. So with that said, I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of this flight. Obviously, you can just fast forward to the end and see the landing, which is not particularly fantastic. And you'll see the summary screen at the end. And I am just going to go through those stats one more time before we wrap up. Maximum speed, 117 kilometers per hour. Okay, which was 72 miles an hour. I was probably doing a dive at the time. Okay, distance traveled to 22,955.7 meters, or in old money, over 14.2 miles. Okay, one battery pack, not very big battery pack, only a 1600 milliampere 4S pack. Maximum current draw, 8 amps. And like I said, maximum height 255 meters, which is well below 1,000 feet, was what we're allowed to do here in the United Kingdom of actually beautiful dayness, in short. Again, a little bit choppy on the old wind conditions. Hey ho. Anyway, I'll leave you to the rest of the flight. From myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this episode, and I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios.